What is going on, guys? It's Gabriel. Today we're going to be doing a more in-depth tour of my office. I've showed it in a few videos. Today we're gonna go around my office, show why I have things where I have it, my systems, the things I use day to day and all that. So yeah, let's get this thing going. My office is located in like 10 minutes away from downtown Tampa, and I have my own parking spot right there. I have this like outside area. I don't really use it. Honestly, I don't really know what I could use it for. It rains too much in Florida for me to really put anything out here. And then I have a private entrance to my office. I don't have to go through no office building thing, talk to a bunch of people. I get my own private entrance. And then we go in here and you have my office. So when you walk in here, I got this custom versus vintage. That's the name of my clothing business. Got a custom rug made. Very cool rug, keep it by the front door. I got some cool stuff going around. I try and keep my office as decorated as possible. Let me put this at 0.5. Maybe you guys can get a better view of it. This is when you first walk in. So up here, I keep a bunch of vintage toys that I've collected over time at the bins. This is all stuff from the bins. Like literally got that like a couple weeks ago. This new with tags, like vintage Squirtle plushie, that's like huge. I got a bunch of these vintage late 80s, mid early 90s sports pennants going all the way around. And shout out to Tech and Sports. I actually got all these plus a bunch more for only $50. So he gave me a really good deal on those. We got some vintage horror movie like posters up here. Very cool. And then over here we got my my desk, of course. I'll go show more about that in a second. But these are my shelves. So right now I only have about 400 active listings. So I don't need very many shelves. At one point I had up to almost 2,000 active listings. I've changed the way I've done my business a lot. And so I've been able to consolidate now. I got like 5 shelves in here. There is room for more. Obviously, there is some empty space if I want more shelves. So we got one really big shelf right here. When I do whatnot shows, I usually hang some shirts across here and then put the tripod right here. If you're been in my whatnot shows, you know what I'm talking about. So that's a really cool shelf right there. We got another shelf right here, another shelf right here with clothes, and one more shelf right here with clothes, and then some miscellaneous stuff up here. And then I have the last shelf right here. I just use this for big coats. So I got a few coats down here. And then all these folded up clothes right here from a whatnot show that I did last night that I need to package up and send off. And then right here, this is typically where I keep items that I either am saving for a market or that I'm saving for a whatnot show. So like some things on here right now that I'm building up for a market. We got some like vintage Harley shirts, just a bunch of random stuff, some modern band tees. I'm building up a bunch of stuff for like a $5 box at a market. So I just have a bunch of kind of cheaper stuff. You know, just some cool like South Pole hoodie. I think I showed that in my last video. So we got a good bunch of stuff here, cheaper stuff for markets, whatnot, that kind of stuff. And then over here, we have my desk. Pretty nice desk, actually. This was actually pretty expensive. We got some things connected to my computer for sound. I usually end up just using this speaker so that when I go in my listing room, I can hear everything better. You know, got some pins and stuff. Got the computer pulled up. We got some like inspirational quotes right here. Got the logo. And then you got this label printer. This is a beautiful label printer. I am not sponsored. Polono, I don't know if that's how you say it. I've had this label printer for like 2.5 years. And it works perfectly. I love this printer right here. And then I got the, this is a beautiful router as well. It's literally like $50, $60, $70 a month. I can't remember exactly, for this T-Mobile router. And it is really good internet. Got my little name right there with the owner. Some business cards. And then, yeah, let's make our way over to... Like, it's not a big office, but make our way over to this room. Usually I have a lot more shirts hung up on the walls right here. These things keep falling off, so I need to figure out a better thing to put here. I don't want to put nails in the wall, but those things keep falling off. I do got a few shirts hung up. This vintage Pink Floyd shirt, this vintage Chief shirt, some vintage like Hooters cool biker shirts. I usually have this wall totally filled up right here, but right now it's not. And then we have my photo setup. Let me put this back in 0.5. It is a very interesting photo setup. I'll turn on these lights right here. And I will link all the stuff I'm showing in the description. So I'll link these lights in the description. I'll link my printer in the description. I also have a bunch of shipping supplies. Of course, you always need those. Poly mailers, things like that. I'll link that kind of stuff in the description as well, so you guys know what kind of stuff I use. And then, yeah, in here, this is where the magic happens, where I take my pictures. I have a very weird setup right here. So this is I'll pop up the measurements right here. Don't remember the exact measurements, but it's a square piece of wood that I nailed some carpet onto, and then I have it on a metal art easel. And then I got some weight to keep the art easel stable, because this is at a very, it's at a pretty good angle right there. So it's got to be able to support the weight. And the reason it's at this angle is that when I put a t-shirt on here, it stays put, it doesn't move around. And this is a very good like grip, this carpet. That's why I like using the carpet instead of, some people like to just use like some type of fabric. I prefer the carpet a lot. I keep some stuff stored back here, some miscellaneous stuff. I got like a mannequin back here. I used to take pictures with that, but don't do that anymore. And then I got this, get any little hairs off of it, the skews. These are what I put the big stuff, so jeans, jackets, I put them in these. And then t-shirts, I put them in the little poly mailers. We got a decent stack of Harley and Sturgis biker stuff right here that I got to work on today. And then once I'm done, once I take the pictures, I put them in the little poly bag, put the skew on it, take a picture of the skew, throw them in this box. When this box gets full, I'll come over to whatever spot is next on the shelf, which would be right here. This is usually empty. I just have this here for a second. So I put that there, and then that here. And now I'm almost done with this shelf. I do have a couple more shelves in storage. I might move another shelf, maybe put it down the middle, or figure out another way. There's obviously room here. I like it open like this, but if I need to put another 1 or 2 shelves in here for more inventory, I will. And then I have these cabinets up here. Just random stuff stored in here. I got my tripod. I got like some video games that I found at the Goodwill bins, some trash bags, some more poly mailers. I think I have some like vintage hats in here, maybe. Yeah, I got some vintage hats. I got this cool like vintage like Yu-Gi-Oh blanket. Lots of just random stuff. I got a steamer. I don't really use it anymore, but if I need to get wrinkles out, I can use that. And yeah, so really cool office. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with my setup here. I'm able to get a lot done. It is kind of expensive. For those who don't know, I live in Tampa, and it's pretty expensive down here. So I pay like $800 a month for this office. And actually, compared to the surrounding market, $800 a month is pretty good. So I'm happy with it. I think it's worth the investment, at least for me. Because I live in an apartment with my girlfriend, and having our apartment just filled up with clothing stuff all the time. I tried it. It was not worth it. I like to have my own workspace. I know for a lot of people, and for me, it's always good to have a space outside of your house that is committed to working. And that applies to your job, obviously, but it also applies when you're self-employed. I think having a committed work environment is very good, especially for your productivity and staying focused. There's no distractions by, your bed isn't a room away. You don't need to go get distracted by doing the dishes or clean some up. You can focus fully on work and leave your office when you're done with work and get what you need to get done. So I think it's very important to, if you can't afford it, if you are far enough in your business, I do think for most people, I know there's a lot of people out there that have very strong minds and they can stay totally focused. I'm not one of those people. I get easily distracted, so it's very good for me to have my own space where I can fully be locked in. So that's the advantage of having an office that's like, a few minutes away from my house. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a little short video. Just want to give an office tour. I know it's not as long as my other videos, but thought I would give y'all a more detailed tour of like what's going on in my office. Oh, also, I got a little Homer Simpson right here. I don't know if I showed that. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed. I'm gonna be dropping videos twice a week. I actually just bought this webcam right here so that I can do some desktop videos at my computer and kind of give you more in-depth videos. Like I'm about to record a video right now on how to cross list and why you should cross list. So lots of more in-depth videos to help your guys' business move forward coming soon. Appreciate all y'all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and most of all, subscribe. We just got to 1,000 subscribers. That's lit. Let's go for 10K. Let's go for 10K. I appreciate all y'all for watching. Peace.